2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions.
Panther fans unite! My name's Tony Dunn. Cody Lashney, how you doing? TK's in the house. How you doing, my friend? The Stat Daddy.
But I think Derek Brown, hey man, he deserves that dab on him pick.
Dab on him, Phil Snow. Dab on him.
All the same, yeah, 100%. We can just
Mine is going to go to the fullback. I'm going to dump on the Richie guy. Dab on him, Shaq.
I'm going to put the towel on Matt Rule.
Y'all took all the good ones.
Only one postgame roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers postgame show.
What is up, Panther fans? It's your boy Tony Dunn, a.k.a. The Professor. It's the C3 Panthers postgame show. The Carolina Panthers go to Los Angeles to face the Rams and fall 24-10 in a game that brought us Wilkes' debut, Christian McCaffrey's unnecessary but bountiful renaissance, and Robbie Anderson's exodus. All of that happened today, and the Panthers, I guess, still fell, which kind of sucked. But not the worst, because there are some storylines to talk about. The 24-10 loss is not all a loss. And we're going to figure out how it's not. My name's Tony Dunn, and my wheelman, Cody Lashney. Welcome back, I guess. We're back here again.
Brand new coach, same old Carolina Panthers. Our offense comes out, and Christian McCaffrey's running mean, running angry in that opening first half. And then we just falter, man. It's like a tale of two halves. They did not trust PJ to throw to absolutely anyone, and you could see why. He was not good. And yeah, man, it's really looking like the Carolina Panthers might possess the number one pick in the draft. But if that's true, that means you're going to need the C3 Panthers podcast now more than ever before. And Tony, we're going to do this like we always do, with the very best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know them and love them. It's our guys, Drew, Alex, Mex Pro, Us Dog 316, Blackthorn, Chris Simeon, Civic 704, Cyphera, David Screws, Jade Thomas, Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Jermaine, JP Shepard, KV73s, Nick Cartoony, Panther Gal, Panther Pickle, Roosevelt Mongo, Y Bid Jordan, Tim Tizzy, and Tim Estes. Tony Dunn, there's a reason these names are getting longer, because we're hitting our stride, baby. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's roll.
The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. We'll be rocking with you guys as you bring us your opinions on today's game. Is Christian McCaffrey, or is he being shopped, and was today, I guess, his moment on the auction block in a certain sense? Dante Jackson, bad, great, and the same. Hurt as again. And you could tell that we were missing some players today, particularly, I guess, a quarterback that they trusted. But Ben McAdoo and his passive-aggressive play calling had Christian McCaffrey just hopping early on. CK in the house, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, man. Listen, this game, we knew we weren't. I said I didn't think we had a chance to win this one, right? I think we could all agree, based on what we saw from our offense, that's probably still an accurate assessment. But I have got to tell you, like, if there's a storyline that I think needs to be the primary of this game, is how fucking horrendous the referees were and how horrendous their calls were, how bad their non-calls were. They missed at least 3 unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness calls. 2 against Christian, 1 against PJ Walker there, and we got one against Matt Ioannidis for one of the most tame quarterback pressures that I've ever seen. His head hit the ground, and that caused the entire referee staff to go, "Oh fuck, Matt Stafford, he's the champion. We need to go ahead and call a flag on this." It's absolute bullshit, and we need to fucking actually say something, because this is starting to get ridiculous. I'm sitting here watching the Chiefs and the Bills game, and Josh Allen getting tripped in front of a ref, like straight up trip with a leg out, and they still didn't call shit. It's got to stop. You've got to get somebody in here who's able to actually call effective games, because this week it has been hot garbage.
We need you guys' support. Call in at 252-228-5098. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button. Be a part of the chat, and consider becoming a C3 superfan for just $1.99 a month. You can show off your pride in building this community that we've worked on. Be sure to like, subscribe, find us on Discord. Greg, the stat daddy, not the greatest stats for PJ Walker today. A very slow and protected game. One stat that was good was no interception. Christian McCaffrey, though, put together over 150 yards, it looks like, combined. But that was probably all really to talk about. Greg, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. And yeah, you're right. That just about is all there is to talk about, except for what CK was mentioning there. I love CK going on these rants, man, because when he does, like, even if I disagree with what he's saying, he makes me passionate about it. It makes me want to believe him. Unfortunately, I agree with him on this one. He's 100% right. But yeah, this game, we're going to get the same kind of calls we always do, just minus the Matt Rule talk, because he's not here for us to blame anymore. And it's just the exact same stuff from the same team. I don't expect Wilkes to come in and turn it around instantly day one, but we looked bad. Really, really, really bad today. I think there's a lot of college teams that would beat the shit out of us right now, to be truly honest with you.
C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by manscaped.com. You can get the highest quality male grooming tools, and probably what you'll need now is to make sure you keep it clean and put that ball deodorant on, because there was some chafing going on for the Carolina Panthers today. If you use the code Panthers, you get 20% off and free shipping. And boy, I guess you got to keep it clean, because the officiator was not clean today, guys, because we both saw those those double zeros on that play clock. All of us were sitting around watching it, and the angle that they showed, you could see the clock. The ball had not been snapped, and those were some pivotal points. But, you just didn't have any room with the quarterback, without really trusting in the quarterback to be able to throw the ball forward. I think out of those, 12 completion. What did he have? We said 16 attempts. 9 of them, I think my friend Drew said, were probably behind the line of scrimmage, if you think about it. So you knew that you couldn't have any room for error when it came to trying to win this game. It's like once you got up, that was like probably it. And once they pulled back ahead, it seemed like it was a Herculean task for the Carolina Panthers. We want to go ahead and also recognize the real sponsors of the show, Cody Lashney. We got some patron saints. Name of the Father. Yeah, patron saints. Let's hear what they got to say.
So Nirvash with the $20 love bomb. Shout out to Nir, longtime viewer of the C3 Panthers podcast. Says, I'm sorry, but this team is officially dead. Season's done, boys. Yeah, and you know what? We're sitting at 1-5. It's kind of hard to feel different, especially with trade rumors galore. Robbie Anderson getting kicked off field. Next, we got Grim Reaper with the $5. Says, you guys are the best. thank you for being our weekly therapy. Grim, thank you for tuning in to the weekly therapy. You guys are the reason why we do it. We appreciate you so much. Just don't cares a whole bunch, and we know that. With the $5 love bomb, appreciate you, Just. And Derek Avery Pats with the $3. Appreciate each and every single one of you guys.
We're doing big stuff, and let's get into the show. Let's start with McAdoo, passive-aggressive McAdoo, showcasing Christian McCaffrey off, probably like we should have been doing the entire time. But did the game plan change because of Steve Wilkes? Did McAdoo call a real offense all season long, and then when Matt Rule got fired, he pulled a fast one, a charlatan move, and then ran Christian McCaffrey to throw shade away from himself? Christian McCaffrey, though, looked like a stud today, and he looked like a guy that was potentially auditioning for other teams.
Yeah, I mean, you said that when we were in our little chat room watching the game. It's almost like Ben McAdoo did this to spite Matt Rule. We were such a run-heavy offense in the first half, and Christian McCaffrey, look, he's trying to up his trade value. If we're going to actually trade this dude, you saw the reason why you would want to trade for Christian McCaffrey today. I mean, look, Ben McAdoo was very run-heavy. But listen, man, I'll say this. I know everybody gets upset at McAdoo. The play calling was not good. But I maintain that until Carolina gets an actual quarterback that's capable of throwing the ball more than 10 yards accurately, then this is what the Panthers are going to look like. And it's a very timely super chat here by Sarah Taylor with the 1999. Shout out, Sarah. You know we love you, Sarah. She says, let's talk about Jacob Eason, the 6'6", 230-pound quarterback. Once upon a time, 5-star prospect. I think a lot of people are just like, well, fuck, let's see what the young guy has. What's he capable of doing? It can't be that much worse than what we've been seeing. Sam Darnold is set to be returning next week, and Baker Mayfield is still in the boot. So it's going to be very interesting on who the Panthers decide to play at quarterback going forward.
PJ Walker was pulled out of the game, hit with one of the spotters. All of a sudden, the spotters are everywhere since the Tua incident, pulling people out like crazy. He left the game past the concussion protocol, but still did not return because of a neck injury. Jacob Eason came in and was kind of slinging it around a little Bailey Zappish. No, not really.
Hey.
He completed like one pass. But
can I say
ahead.
something about the PJ Walker thing real quick?
Please.
Can we just, whoever recognized that he might be needing to be reviewed for concussion, can we have them be the fucking referees? Because they were able to see the helmet-to-helmet hit that PJ Walker took in that play that took him out of the game for the rest of the game. That was, in fact, a neck injury, not a concussion, luckily. But they were able to see it from the sidelines. But the guy that's in the backfield with PJ Walker couldn't see shit. It's an absolute travesty. Move forward. I'm sorry.
Narrative. Oh, I'm sorry.
The refs there was 2 delay of game penalties that really allowed the Rams to hang around when I guess you could have maybe gained some momentum with a defensive stop. Our defense played okay, but going back to Jacob Eason, is that I watched Bailey Zappi sling it around, dude. He's going to dang take the job from Mac Jones.
Oh, he is. I don't think Mac Jones is going to have the job after the way.
I mean, this guy will be on our team next year. Is what you're saying? We're going to trade a first round for him next year,
right?
No, fuck that shit.
Look, was Bill Belichick hits another 6-round pick for 2 decades of success? No, I'm just kidding. Jacob Eason, though, is that, look, Cody, is this or guys or Greg, I'll open up to all of y'all. Is this are we crashed into the rocks now? If you're going out there, you could ultimately, if you were the coach, and you could say, we're going to start Jacob Eason and everybody else is hurt. And we're going to put like somebody use Sam Darnold as the emergency quarterback if necessary. And you could then effectively be getting CJ Stroud.
I'll put it very bluntly and very plainly. If you have 3 quarterbacks, you don't have one. And we don't have one.
We've got 4.
Yeah,
We've got
if,
four and we don't got
especially-
one.
Yeah, if you have three, you don't have one. But if you have four, you damn sure don't have one. Shout out to our guy Roosevelt Mongo with the $20 love bomb. Thank you all so much for the donations. We never asked for it, but they're always appreciated. Roosevelt says special thanks to the biggest hypocrite liar of the century. David Tepper promised no mediocrity, been anything but.
Yeah, it's kind of a disaster. And we're not disaster. I actually thought I thought some of the players, or not, the team came out and played pretty hard under Wilkes today. You know, you get Derek Brown, who was just eating and eating. You get Christian McCaffrey out there just doing Christian McCaffrey things. And the offensive line, you got to say, has been incredible, right, to this point. So there were some things that we could be excited or happy about or pleased. And in fact, to be honest, that was a more entertaining game today than I've seen, even offensively everywhere, that I've seen probably all season in some ways. But the game did not end well, and there was kind of one symbolic kind of, I guess, grand metaphor for it, and that is Robbie Anderson pulling the Antonio Brown, getting an argument with his receiver coach, it looks like, and then Wilkes tells him to get on and sends him to the locker room. You guys, what did you hear about this incident? What did you guys make of it?
Robbie Anderson was mouthing off. Robbie Anderson was pissed off. I mean, dude, I don't know. Steve Wilkes kind of put his foot down. Hey, give me a second. Take this, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think Robbie Anderson has been a vocal ally of Matt Rule, of Sam Darnold, and at every turn. And if I'm losing you guys, my internet's telling me it's going crazy.
I can hear you.
He's at every turn had an opposition for what this squad is intended to do, right? With the Baker Mayfield trade, which, hey, hindsight, he was right? But you don't come out publicly and do that shit of a guy who's going to be your quarterback. He's been such an ally, and now when you see what we did this game, they had no confidence in PJ Walker getting the ball down the field. Zero confidence in his ability to push the ball. I mean, this is a guy with an incredible arm as far as talent pushing the ball down the field, and they just didn't even try to uncork it. And I think Robbie probably took exception with the fact that he was basically removed from the game plan entirely, just because of the quarterback play. So that's part of
Robbie
it. Robbie
forcing himself out. Robbie said, "You guys talk about trading me." He said, "I want out of this mug. Send me to Green Bay." Green Bay looked terrible today.
I have no problem saying I never liked Robbie Anderson, dude.
I didn't either.
I never have. I never liked his attitude. I never liked when he was coming down on the fans for booing Sam Darnold and booing Matt Rule. Like, don't tell us how to be a fucking fan and then you're mouthing off the coaches, dude. I never liked Robbie Anderson. It was blasphemous that anyone ever compare his ass to Ted Ginn Jr. He's never been anywhere close to that. Dude, Saya fucking Nara. Later, Robbie. I don't give a shit. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Robbie Anderson's going to be like Kelvin Benjamin. As soon as he leaves Carolina, he's going to get a few shots at a few different places. He'll be out of the league in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of guy that you give him enough rope to hang himself, and he'll do it 90% of the time. And that's what he's doing right now. And then fine. He deserves it.
And CK, this is right to your point with the referees. Dr. Rosen with the $4.99 love bomb says, I guess you can call for a fair catch, then decide if you want to run after you get the ball.
Yeah, and then also signal a fair catch later, and they threw the flag. Do you remember when they threw the flag when the guy just barely touched him? Yeah, and it was barely a fair catch signal, right? It was like half the motion that he made in the last one. I don't know if that penalty stood or not. Officiating was bad. Officiating was bad. We got to come back. Don't worry. Let's go ahead and I want to jump into the cat calls and start pushing through this so we can kind of continue to push the material. We still got Dante Jackson to talk about. What you guys thought about the coach and Robbie, the coach himself. He looked like he handled it well from the sidelines, but it just looks like Robbie knows that his time in Carolina is probably over. Right. We've got all that to talk about. Christian McCaffrey potentially on the trade block, and Dante Jackson again with, I guess, how many games has the defense scored in a row now? 3?
Yeah, 3 times in a
Something
row,
like
I
that?
believe.
2 or
Dude, the
3?
defense. I feel so bad for our defense, man. Like
Man, and
even missing players.
without J.C. Horn, I would argue, given they played very well today, is that just not enough. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these calls. The number's 252-228-5098. Be a part of the C3 Panthers post-game show. It's a show by the fans for the fans. Let's go.
My bad, I'm slacking.
The delay.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Friday free for all. Unfortunately, I'm at a range in Alabama shooting guns and machine guns. Lots of fun. I'm hoping to hear that we're not going to be trying to trade the farm for a couple of picks, because look what's happened to a couple of teams that traded away their talent and they got some picks in return and they all flamed out. I want to hear what you guys think about that. Also, we'll have to see. I want to give him fair shake, Steve Wilkes fair shake, because I think he can get an awesome offensive coordinator that'll probably do exactly what we need. Some up-and-comers. Want to see? Hope to hear from you guys later.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. AU Link wondering, and really we're going to have to ask this question in just a moment, is at what point now, I guess this pushes us to 5-1, right? 5-1 makes us, I guess, prime
1
and
and
slate.
5.
1 and 5. Yeah.
Yep, sorry. Yeah.
Definitely not 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1,
1 and 5.
yeah.
As I'm trying to think, are we the low? Like, I was trying to think of how many losses we had. I knew we only
Somewhere
had
in the
one win.
multiverse.
You know what I'm saying?
Somewhere in the multiverse, we're 5-1, but this isn't the universe.
But that puts us primed for the number 1 pick is what I was going for there. Let's go ahead and push on to the next call. The number is 252-228-5098.
What's going on, C3 Podcast? This is D from Sanford, North Carolina.
What's up, my man?
What's up, D?
Loving the defense. I felt like the defense played well. It's a bummer about Jackson with his ankle. But with us not having the ability to even throw the ball down the field with PJ, our hands are tied. I mean, I like the fight, but what the heck is going on with Robbie Anderson? This is like a preschool Antonio Brown meltdown of last year. I mean, like, I don't understand it. He should understand PJ is not going to get that ball down the field accurately unless they're going to throw him some screen passes. But at this moment right now, Robbie Anderson is now the kindergarten version of the Antonio Brown meltdown. All right. Love y'all guys. Keep pounding.
Do you
I'm
think
out.
Robbie was just truly upset with his role in the game? Like, what'd you guys think? That Robbie, you were going to all of a sudden be the number 1 star in the offense after your boy, Matt Rule, Uncle Rule is gone? And why do you think you would even be the feature? It could not just have been him being upset with his role, which he has been in the past.
Robbie truly thinks he's a good receiver. He got paid as a good receiver. I mean, he had 1,000-yard season. Like I said, he's the Josh Norman of the offense. He had one good year. He got paid for it, and then he shows what he really is. Like Robbie's one of those guys who would lie to you, but you can't be as mad at him because he truly believes his lie. Like he doesn't think he's lying. Like he really does think he's that guy, and the numbers don't show it, and that's what it is. And maybe he just got a reality check today.
Do you think it was enough to ask him to leave? Like,
yes.
I mean,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
he
you're
was
gonna-
in the
if
face
you're-
of his coach.
If you're going to start a fight with the coach, like as Steve Wilkes, somebody that just came into power, dude, you have to lay it down and be like, no, you ain't about to start fights with the coach just because you're not being played the way you want to. Get the fuck off the football field, man. And look, listen, 2 things can be true, right? Robbie is an overrated wide receiver, and yet no receiver is going to thrive in this offense with the quarterbacks the way they have been. Like I said, if you have 4 quarterbacks, you don't have not a one. And no one's getting the ball consistently. And he decided to be unprofessional about it and fucking wanted to start fights and shit. And I have no doubt that he's not being targeted as much as he should. But, dude, so is DJ Moore isn't either. No other receiver on this team is getting their fair amount of receptions. So it's like, dude, you're so far down the totem pole. I even wonder if it has anything to do with the trade rumors. I mean, they were saying during the broadcast that the Panthers were listening to calls for CMC. So you have to assume that Robbie knows that they're shopping him too. Maybe he wanted to put on a better performance today, so that way the Panthers are more likely to trade him if they're able to get a better offer for him. I don't know, man. But either way,
he didn't have a single catch
shit
today. Right now, the way it panned out, Christian McCaffrey, 7 receptions, 89 yards. Ian Thomas, 2 catches, 22. DJ Moore, just not on his way to another 1,000-yard season. 3 catches, 7 yards. Chuba, 1 for 1. Shi Smith, I think, had 2 targets, no catches. Terrace Marshall Jr. with a big drop, too, at one moment. So, look, nobody was getting work except for Christian McCaffrey, and he got 0 work. Let's go to the next call. It's 252-228-5098.
What's up, C3? What's up, C3? Is Noah here? No, the game's not over yet. We got, we're in the fourth quarter. We got, 8 minutes left. LA just scored. Oh, man. It sucks to be a Panthers fan. But, the team do look good today. I mean, it looked like a brand new team. But, Robbie is just, Robbie, man, and funny. But,
my kid's calling him funny.
He probably won't get traded. And,
he is doing a press conference.
Let's go to it. Here, let's pause this conversation.
We have to
We're coming back to it. I see it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up.
Actually, I'll play the call until you. Oh, here we go. Robbie Anderson. Let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah, I decided that this would be, the best decision that I feel the best for me. So appreciate y'all.
What did we miss? What did he say? Did he quit?
That's what it sounds like.
Is he saying he's retiring?
Whatever he
No,
made
I don't know. Oh my gosh, how do we not get that? Can we?
Time out.
Yeah, I make my own. We addressed it. Amongst
Let's see. We can go back. He's not retired.
We addressed it.
Let me see if I can find it on YouTube.
Oh my goodness!
Play Noah's call and I'll find it.
All right.
Not running the ball. It's so people. I think people can tell what we're doing. I can, but oh my gosh, just we keep running the ball. We're not getting no type of yards out there. It's just we only had 1 touchdown, and that was from Dante. I think his name's Dante. That scored on the pick 6. I mean, it's just I don't know. I think CMC he probably gets traded. But yeah, keep pounding. We got a long road ahead, and I just gotta say, great job to Steve Wilkes to, look better than Matt Rule. Keep pounding them out.
Love the call, Noah. You're always welcome on the C3 Panthers podcast. Always brings a great perspective. And David Tepper, I feel like you need to take little Noah to school tomorrow because of that. You can hear in his voice how the way we feel. Let's see if we can hear for this Robbie Anderson press conference via YouTube. YouTube's.
Yeah, my job is, I'm here to do all I can to help us win. It's third down. I'm being taken out the game. I don't think I should be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So I made a comment. It's money down. Why am I being taken out?
Because you're not a money player.
Why do you think you're taken out? I have no idea, But, one thing I do, and I always stand on and continue to do, is I give my all in everything that I do with this game, I don't play this game for money. I don't play this game for fame, things like that. I play this game
the contract says otherwise.
You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what's been going on the past week, I always keep my head down and keep working, So all I want to do is help us win the Super Bowl. And that's all I want to do.
Win the Super Bowl?
How about win a game, Robbie?
So I'm never going to belittle myself from that aspect or let my character be diminished and be misunderstood, because that's really all it is.
I'm glad he's not going to belittle himself from that aspect.
Or misunderstood?
I mean, I can't call that, but people that know me, they understand me, and that's what matters most, Everybody's not going to always understand you. Everybody is entitled to their opinion in life, but I don't live for the approval of others. I keep God first, my family, and myself, So whoever doesn't understand me, that's on them. I don't live to please others.
I know it's a business, but how difficult has this week been? Losing Matt, a guy you have a lot of history with.
I mean, like you said, it's business, so I had to keep my head down. I'm here. So my goal was this week was to do all I can. My opportunity come to do my best of my all. I didn't get an opportunity today, but I still gave my all. Every day in practice, I emptied the tank and gave my all, That's all I can do is control what I can.
What did you share about why you reacted the way that you did? Have you had an opportunity to share that with your coaches?
Repeat that.
What you just shared with us about why you reacted the way that you did on the sideline, have you had an opportunity to share that with your coaches?
No, I haven't really spoke to them yet, but, it wasn't, we didn't talk about that.
Was it important to get up here and talk to us?
Because I don't want nobody to, have a misconception about me. Other times in my life when I've had moments of controversy, I didn't speak up for myself, and it's not just about me, it's for, young kids that go through similar things as me to always stand firm and stand up for yourself, and certain principles I was raised on is non-negotiable, and for anything else, I'm a man. Respect it.
Non-negotiable principle. That's a principle, man.
It's not always given.
When you put up good numbers, you can make that argument, Robbie. You don't have the clout to make this argument, so shut the hell up, please.
Go hard. You shouldn't be okay with, not being on that turf. Or you should want to make a play. Losing is not acceptable. We don't play this game to lose.
So he got upset. He got pulled off on third down.
You could consider me a loser. My whole life growing up, I didn't get this far in life to continue to be a loser. That's not what I work for.
I know that you understand.
He's trying to make us feel bad all the time. God, my family. I work hard. I love the game more than money.
Anybody can say that. I've been in trade
rumors before. It's part of the game. So I don't let it affect me. I just, like I said, I keep my head down and keep going hard regardless.
Keep your head up so you can see the ball coming.
Don't keep your head down. That's why.
That's why.
I'm gonna let God follow His plans in my life. And I know what He has ordained for me.
But we always do. We just cite God when we want people, when we want to say whatever we want.
Dude, that's what Russell Wilson
does. And he gets it. Yeah.
Lord be to God.
Mm-hmm. I wish so badly right now he'd be
I
like, I don't care what people say. So the Bat Daddy, screw you. I'd love for him to say that right now.
What's crazy is we ain't heard from Robbie all year. Now we got to listen to his stupid ass.
I've never been told in X amount of years to get out the game.
You sat plays before.
So I was honestly confused and
you sat.
Yeah, like what's the problem? Like what's the problem? We want different personnel. This ain't working, homie.
Nobody that's a true competitor, that knows the value they bring and has true passion towards the game, that'll be okay with being told not to do something or being.
No, but I know people who get paid.
Can we fast forward to the end?
Yeah, I know people get paid and know their role and know how to line up and follow orders. So.
Yeah, I make my own. We addressed it. Amongst me, Scott, and I decided that this would be the best decision that I feel is best for me. So I appreciate y'all.
Nothing.
Did leaving the game.
Did it's his decision to
do what? To do the press conference? To come on?
And his decision to act an asshole and be like, "Oh, I needed to scuff for myself because they didn't keep me on the field on third down." Yeah, he sounds stupid. He always has, man.
He's a fool, and don't I know it?
You've got to have the clout to be able to make comments like that. When you're a guy who continually is a third down receiver of the ball and you make a lot of third downs, when you're a guy who doesn't drop half the passes that are thrown to you, you can make arguments like that. When you're the 27th highest paid wide receiver in the NFL and you're putting up the production of the 127th, you cannot make an argument.
And
shut the hell up. And you're told to sit down, sit down.
Who cares? PJ Walker is in the game. You're going to run it on 3rd and 10 anyway. Like, it's not like all of a sudden he is like Randy Moss out there. Right? Boy, how can you not go to me in this situation? This is what I'm here for. Oh,
we would have made that third down if Robbie was in. Why didn't we start? Like, what?
Gosh.
It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe because we needed, well, I mean, Robbie can block for his little skinny ass, but still. All right, the number's 252-228-5098. Tell us your thoughts about Robbie Anderson's mini meltdown, his polarizing press conference afterwards, and Dante Jackson with a pick 6 today. Do you love Dante? What's the good, the bad, the great? And it turns out it's the same. He's hurt again. Let's go to the goals.
Tony, Cody, CK. I've got a question. 2 questions for you. Number 1, do you think the Carolina Panthers are going to get 3 wins this season? And 2, who is the bigger punk, brat, bitch who needs to get his ass kicked? Is it Robbie Anderson or is it David Tepper? Bye-bye.
Oh. All right, so let's answer all of them. Do you think that we're good for 3 wins this year?
Yeah, last week you guys were telling me you're about to reel off 8 just on Tuesday. No,
no one said that. No one said. I'll say no.
Pretty sure y'all said 5.
I think there were 5 winnable games in this upcoming schedule, which is why I made the statement that Steve Wilkes will keep his job if we win 6.
Yeah, I think we can be competitive, but no, I really don't think that we're going to win 3. I really don't.
Not if we don't get a healthy Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold. Then it doesn't look like Baker May. Probably Sam Darnold probably gives us the best chance to win, which is crazy.
And who needs to get there? Who needs to get slapped the more? David Tepper or Robbie Anderson? I'd say David Tepper.
Me too. I would. Wouldn't you love? Wouldn't it be so rewarding to slap a billionaire across his bald ass head?
Lick your palm and then bam, just smack his ass across his face.
I'd love to put them both in a ring and be like, all right, you 2 fight. Whoever wins gets to keep their job for the rest of the season.
Dude, I want to make these poor billionaire shirts. I just got to figure out a way to do it so I can't get sued by a bazillionaire. 252-228-5098. Next call.
What's up, guys? A lot of people are so excited to see PJ Walker. Oh man, that's the reason everybody says he would not been in the league and went from that rule. And after this season, he would no longer be in the league. The first 3 quarters of the first quarter was exciting. After that, that did nothing.
First 3 quarters of the first quarter.
That did nothing.
That's that
Where was
core, man.
Brian Burns today? Was he inactive? Because if he was on the field, he was still inactive. I know they weren't going to win this game, but I up to this officiating crew, man. The NFL officiating in the whole is just absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. Or Robbie Anderson, good riddance. Steve Wilkes showing why he was given the walking papers from Arizona after 1 season.
Oh gosh,
the dude's a loser.
Catching strays.
Yeah, but you can't expect him to turn around. Come on.
I love Ron Rivera when he was here, but he's got the same loser mentality as Rivera did. Not playing to trying to win the game, but playing not to lose or not to get blown out. He played to win the game. You don't play to let's try not get embarrassed here. Yeah, he's a loser. Next.
So what do we feel about essentially not trying to be more aggressive and just running the ball when you're down in the fourth quarter and just there's no life and they're still just gonna run. It's like they didn't even want to win.
But they had a guy they didn't even have PJ in.
Yeah.
So really, if you want to get 8 yards, honestly, if you truly want to win, running the ball might be the only way you could win. You know what I'm saying? What are you really going to throw a pick? Oh, I mean, he threw a damn pick in the end zone already.
Yeah. Hey,
what do you want to do?
Hey, but before I let you go, Greg, Michael Davis with the $25 love bomb. Again, we thank you for the donations. They're always appreciated. Get the message to Robbie that I'm hiring laborers currently. He'd do just fine hauling that rebar for the crew. Starting pay is $14 an hour. And you know what? That's a fair offer. Shout out to Michael Davis. That's a good guy right there, man. Just trying to look out for somebody who might be needing some work sometime soon.
Yeah.
Or to remember you're a millionaire so you can act like an adult. Go ahead, Greg.
I honestly forgot what I was going to say.
Okay. All right. Well, I remembered what I was going to say, and that was next call.
There you go.
Podcast brothers, how y'all doing?
What's up, G?
Man, this was a hurtful game to fucking watch, man. I was happy that Dante Jackson got that interception and ran that shit in, but after halftime, man, we just played pretty bad, man. And I'm ready for this season to be over, man. I don't fucking get it, man. We're on a fourth string fucking quarterback, man. PJ went down, then Eason came in. And we were right there. That's when you run the fucking ball. Why the living hell you gonna pass in the middle with all them people in the middle? You don't do no fullback passes, no screens, no tiny passes, no nothing. You gonna throw in the damn middle? What the fuck is going on, y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at the point now. We need Cam back, man. Let Cam come to the team. Y'all hear me out now. Come to the team. Let him learn the damn playbook for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Let him ride the bench. Let him go to the games and shit like that and put his ass in, man, because this year looks pretty bad, man. It really does, man. Give me your thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep pounding.
I tell you one thing is this honestly was one of the most entertaining games of the season for me, if not maybe the Browns game in the fourth quarter because the comeback, kind of the comeback, and you almost had the win there.
Mm-hmm.
But this honestly was a game where we had a moment of excitement as Panthers as they came out and took a lead. You see Christian McCaffrey getting work done. You see the defense getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really trying to argue that this is the best performance we saw all year. And then I remember we scored 3 points on offense.
Right.
Right. Think
Without
about that. Your
touchdown,
best performance, arguably, in my opinion. I don't know. You don't have to feel the same way I do. But I really am like, hey, this ain't the worst game I watched all year.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember that there were only 3 offensive points scored. That means you're having a terrible, terrible year.
Yeah.
Real quick, George the Blind Panther with the $5 love bomb says trade Robbie. Appreciate you, Joey. Go ahead, Greg.
Can I just ask everybody in the chat and calling in, can we just give Wilkes a break? Give him a chance. Look, if I'm driving a car, if I get in the front seat of my car and it won't start, if I give my keys to my wife and ask her to go start it, doesn't mean that she's a worse starter of the car than me. Okay, we gave him chicken shit to start out with. Like, I don't expect him to come in and turn
and make
the
chicken
team
salad.
Around. Yeah. And I wouldn't eat that chicken salad. I wouldn't expect him to turn the team around. Like, I was fully not expecting him to come in and win, go on a 9-game winning streak for us. So let's give Steve Wilkes a break. And 2, I wanted to ask, we are on our fourth string quarterback.
We didn't get blown out.
Is our offensive line better? We're on our fourth string quarterback, 3 of them because of injury. Like, is our offensive line really better?
Yes.
Well, last year we got players injured, and we said you could play behind our line for 3 plays.
How many sacks did they have? I wonder how many sacks they had today.
Enough to injure PJ Walker.
Right.
You know?
You guys said it was a legal hit. The number's 252-228-5098. Next call.
What's up, C3? This is your boy Nick Hedden. Just a quick comment on today's game. I feel like we're doomed, man. I did have a little bit of ray of hope. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, you got Ben McAdoo, NFL guy, not meshing well with the college coach, Matt Rule. And then you have Phil Snow not meshing well with, Steve Wilkes. And, so it's another on the defensive side of the ball, look like college versus NFL. And, when they are gone, I'm like, okay, so now we got all NFL guys in the room. Well, the NFL guy that we got on offense really ain't the best to be calling plays. You know what I'm saying? So even if Rule was, giving him kickback on different plays, the plays are still Ben McAdoo's. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the bad thing about it is I want you guys to confirm this. Either you guys or PNP or Kevin Avery, one of you casters that have interviewed past and current players. And this is just my speculation, but I really need you guys to reach out to one of your sources and confirm this. By the time week 1 hits, your packages on offense are your packages. There's really, I really can't see any other time where you can install a new offensive package and just get it to rolling and everybody learn it, in time to be, it's like a drinking game. You shot is poured, you got to drink. That's just it. I think that's one of the reasons why Temple should have fired him last year when he couldn't hire that rock star OC. I just think, I don't think it's going to pop this year, especially on offense wise, and that's not going to. It doesn't look good for Wilkes because the defense can still do good things and tire down the stretch. You know what I mean? Which it's just. I just don't know, man. Y'all keep pounding. We gonna at least let's try to keep pounding at least. God bless y'all. I'm out.
As far as my understanding is that they install like sort of a base offense and defense in the beginning, like it through training camp and all of that, and that actually is like the foundational philosophy that additions will later be made upon, right? So like if you can learn, it's like cooking. If you learn, well, God, I'm using a Jonathan Stewart analogy, but if you learn the science of like these 4 things, how they work together, we can then introduce more complex versions of those recipes already later on throughout the season. So, like offenses never show everything early on because you can't also teach everything all at once. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. If you say, here's everything. So you say, here's 40% of it. Then we're going to phase in this 10, this 8, this 5% later and really add some like garnish to this offense. So I think that's how it works. Robbie Anderson continuing to dominate the headlines as I look over at the Twitter and the Panther reporters are reporting on Robbie Anderson. I like this. Steve Reed says, where'd it go? Is that he said the decision to give Robbie Anderson a contract extension was questionable at the time, and now it's looking even worse. I think that's an apt way of saying this. And then I like this, guys. I want to read this tweet. This is direct quote. I wonder how Joe Person wrote this down. Like, I wonder how it, like, I wanted to see his face and his brain mind meld as he wrote this down. It's a direct quote from Robbie Anderson. I don't see nobody that's a true competitor that knows the value they bring and has true passion toward the game that will be okay with being told not to do something or being taken out of something when they didn't do nothing wrong. It's like a bunch of didn't. Like, oh God, I bet
you need his Twitter translator to be next to him at all times during the press conference. Which, by the way, Robbie Anderson had blocked that account. Apparently, he unblocked him. So now he's back to being able to see Robbie Anderson.
Good.
Tweet.
I mean, he should hire him. As his PR guy. That's what he should. He should actually take all of his tweets and just send them to him. I know that's ridiculous. All right. But we got some big donations to the show. It's really been, look, as I know that people are down in the dumps about the Carolina Panthers, but what else did we really expect today is my first thing. Is this was about as good of a product I ultimately expected. I mean, sure, maybe we want to see PJ Walker slinging it around or something crazy, but to go on the road against a better team, like Greg was saying, that should just win. Like if they lost, it would be the weird part. Only lose by 14.
Only.
It's like this is like kind of not the worst game we've played all season. So we appreciate you guys sticking around and supporting the show. We got some super chats to read out. It's been a generous show from the contributors, from the patron saints. Who we got, Cody?
Yeah, Bill Daughtry with the $5 says game was dry until they pull fan from the stands to quarterback. Boring, even live to watch. Shout out to Bill Daughtry for the $5. Then Jarrett Cole with another $5 says the way CMC plays, trading him for the number one pick is ours to take. We appreciate you so much for that. And, listen, we've got a bunch of people in here right now, and it's that time. You already know what time it is. I mean, yeah, you look forward to watching the Panthers. Fine, okay, maybe not much this season, but then you look forward to us even more. And you're like, man, I need this post-game therapy session to soothe my soul. But even more than that, you bring your little ass here to get shamed by the voice that makes them moist. CK, talk to him, Big Papa.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched some of the worst offense in the history of the Carolina Panthers. We are on the road to potentially being the number one pick in the NFL draft for 2023. The future is bright, but you come in here to maybe stew a little bit, maybe enjoy your therapy session with us, the C3 Panthers podcast, but you haven't hit that like button yet? I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
This
276 people, 112 likes. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell so we can whoop up on that YouTube algorithm and let them that the C3 Panthers podcast reigns supreme. Get notified every single time we go live. If you've been following our channel in the past couple of days, we have been uploading content after content after content. We interviewed Jonathan Stewart last Wednesday. And man, that was a big time interview. We appreciate Jonathan for doing it. Subscribe to the C3 Panthers podcast, and we're going to be here for you even when times are dark. Tony,
shame on you guys for not smashing the thumbs up button more. Good gosh. I mean, I usually get ready when they pull the subscriber shame out. I go, oh, that's good. 278 people, only 100 something likes. Come on, let's get that going.
It's getting better. We're up to 122. Hit them likes, people.
Come on.
It's for free.
It is free, as Cito says. Let's go to the next call.
Podcast brothers, this is G Cavassier again. Man, what the fuck is up with Robbie Anderson, man? What the hell is wrong with this damn dude? I don't think he got one catch in the fucking game, and he's going off and the wide receivers coach, and the head coach kicked him out, man. I think he's gone, man. I think we bought the damn.
Man, we appreciate the call, G. We always, we've been talking about the Robbie Anderson. It is dominating the headlines right now. We want to hear your thoughts on Robbie Anderson going forward. Is he going to be a Green Bay Packer? Is where I think he could wind up. Did he help his trade value? Did it hurt his trade value? Carolina Panthers have to be ready to ship him out, but you have that contract part to deal with. But there's other people to be interested to see if they will continue with Carolina. That's Christian McCaffrey, and some people have even said Brian Burns is on that potential trade list. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go.
What's up, C3? It's Anthony.
What's up, Anthony?
Man, that was really bad. I mean, I don't know what you guys saw, but not scoring an offensive touchdown, it's even below Matt Rule's standards. I don't see us winning a game. I mean, I really looked at this Rams team as a vulnerable opponent, someone that we could really get a good grasp on as to what our season is going to look like. Well, now we know. PJ Walker just looks pedestrian like the rest of them, but they didn't even let him throw the ball. They don't know how to balance. No coordinator we brought in the last 5 years has known how to balance a game plan, running and passing, not just running lopsided or passing lopsided. It's very disappointing. I don't see us winning a game. I see us getting a top pick 1 or 2, C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. That's what I see. This team looked even worse. Robbie Anderson, get the hell off the team anyway. Your ass is on the trade block. Now you probably would have to be cut anyway, and you've just been a cancer regardless. We have other receivers, but the defense didn't look good anyways either. Like, nothing looked good in this game. The Rams were so vulnerable. They played such shitty football through 5 weeks, and then we come into LA and just make it look like a bye week for them. Like, that's literally what it was. If it wasn't for Dante Jackson, this would be a complete snooze fest. I'm not saying it wasn't, which it kind of was, but yeah, tough day, Panthers Nation. I mean, this is kind of what we expected. And after the Bucs lost today, I don't see Tom Brady coming into the stadium next week and not kicking our ass. So, I mean, this is going to be a very long season. It's just time. And the last thing I do want to say is when this goes south, because it's already heading south, don't trade all these players. Just trade a couple that are up there in age that have big salary cap hits.
We're so young,
don't make an impact on this team.
Robbie's
like
the
Shaq
oldest.
Thompson, like a couple of those guys. But anyways, this is Anthony. Keep pounding C3. You're the best.
Well, I guess Shaq is older. Thanks for the support. And we got another super chat in here.
Yes, we
encouraging the Hulk-like smash of the thumbs button.
Dr. Rosen with the second donation of the night. We appreciate you, brother. He says, Hulk, smash that like button. Thanks for the great content, guys. Keep pounding. Hey, man, you all are who we do for. Whenever you have a day like today where the Panthers don't give you anything to cheer for, you can come and vent with your weekly therapy session. I threw this up on screen just to kind of show you guys what we have coming up before the bye. This is all before our bye. We got the Bucs versus the Bucs at home. We're on the road at Atlanta. They got a big W over the 49ers, who kicked our ass up and down the field. The Cincinnati Bengals, who went into the Superdome, got a W today. The Falcons again, the Ravens, and then the Broncos. I don't know. Those all look like L's to me, if I'm being quite honest. I don't know what to say.
Oh, man, how the tides have turned after one loss on the road to the Rams. But I will say this. If we could just have games like today for the rest of the season, get the number one pick. That was mildly entertaining today. Arguably more entertaining than the first 4 weeks of football, in my opinion. And if we could have a mildly entertaining losing season and secure that first round pick, is that the worst way to get the first round pick? Nah.
No, I mean, look.
Is there a good way to get the first round pick, though?
So, look, the dream scenario is that the Carolina Panthers trade absolutely no one and we get the first overall pick. You know, I mean, that way you get the quarterback. And somebody, I don't think I saved it, somebody earlier in the chat room said that P.J. Walker had all day to throw. And that's another thing that burns.
He couldn't
so
throw.
much.
That was the thing, is it wasn't them just not calling passing plays. They called a couple. And he just threw him into the stands and stuff. I mean, not into the stands, but there was a couple of plays. That play action pass, we go, oh, here comes play action, and he just threw it 80 feet away from the guy.
Well, if you recall preseason, PJ looked horrendous in preseason too. Mm-hmm. He looked as bad, if not worse, than Matt Corral did in preseason. And I had predicted at that point in time, until Sam Darnold got hurt, that they were going to cut. They were going to cut PJ Walker and they were going to cut Sam Darnold. That's what I thought. They were going to go into the season with only two quarterbacks, but when it ended up being that Sam Darnold was hurt, Matt Corral was hurt, they still came into the season with only two quarterbacks. It just happened to be PJ Walker. PJ did not look good. He didn't look great. Now, the part of it that you wonder about game plan is they did not push the ball down the field very much. But the guy we know that PJ Walker is, he likes to air the ball out. A couple of times he tried to get to the sideline after holding on to the ball a little bit too long, and he just wasn't on target. He was 5 yards out into the out of bounds on the boundary there, and it was not good. PJ certainly isn't the answer moving forward. But I tell you what, there's a lot of people that have some questions of whether Sam Darnold is going to be able to come in here and do something, because here's what I'm going to tell you, and nobody wants to hear this, and I'm not optimistic that Sam Darnold comes in here and does well, but I'm here to tell you, Baker Mayfield has looked worse, if not is equal to what Sam did last year, with a better offensive line. And that was one of the biggest issues we had last year, was our offensive line, right? PJ Walker came in here, shit the bed with one of the best offensive lines we've seen in Carolina. Sam Darnold hasn't had that benefit. So listen, let's go ahead and let him go out there and see what he can do. Again, not optimistic, but I think that we got to realize PJ Walker is clearly not the answer, nor is anybody really on this roster outside of maybe potentially Matt Corral.
If you have four quarterbacks, you have one. Go ahead,
Right.
Greg.
Can I ask, with the people that are saying that PJ had all day, PJ threw 16 passes, right? 9 of them were behind the line of scrimmage. 3 of them were behind the line of scrimmage and incomplete, which means he threw 3 passes beyond the line of scrimmage, or not that weren't swing passes or screen passes. So I think 2 of them were slants. How can you say he had all day in the pocket when he's literally snapping the ball, turning and throwing? There's no way you can determine, he had all day in the pocket. He spent 1.5 seconds in the pocket all day before he threw the ball. So, I mean, I don't think it's a fair argument to make. I think that if he had dropped back 15 times and thrown down the field 15 times and you could see he had all day, then you could say that. But with the way he threw the ball, there's no way you can determine that he had all day in the pocket.
Yeah. And hey, real quick, Tony, hold that up again one more time, because do something cool. If you all get this video, let me put you on full screen right quick. If you get this video to 275 likes, we're going to be giving away this Panthers Christmas ornament to one of our C3 super fans. To anyone that has hit the join button for $1.99 a month. We've been giving out prizes, and we wanted to give back to Panther fans. Hit that like button. Get this to 275, man. Come on. You can all do that right now. We're at 305 viewers. If everyone hit that like button right now, we'll give away a Panthers ornament. How about that?
Sounds good.
Early Christmas.
Look, I'm telling you guys is that this is the way to get a quarterback next year. You know, I mean, you can't win games like this. You can't win games with this personnel. Imagine the fact that PJ, I don't know. It's just, I'm not even upset. I am not even upset at all. Like, this is exactly, this is better than expected. I thought that the Rams were actually going to be good. The good news is the Rams were bad today. And that made it so it wasn't like 40-something to 10. Let's go, or 40-something to 3. Let's go to the next call.
Hey guys, Chuck from Elizabeth City, aka Carolina sports guy. And I got to look at it, guys. One thing I can say about it, this is offensively about as bad as the year we were 2-14. I mean, when your defense gets your only touchdown, it's pretty sad. But the only way to look at it, guys, is we need an offensive-minded coach. We've never had one. And for you PJ Walker fans out there, that's a joke. That guy's, I mean, he'll be out of this league. He won't even be a backup when the season's over. And I really want to address what I said last week about I'm tired of our players being picked apart by every team and trading to Buffalo or San Francisco or whoever. But let me tell you something. I see Washington, I see Denver, I see Houston. I don't never hear anybody talking about, let's get rid of those players, let's trade their players. And I know CJ made a point last week, and Greg did too, about, hey, the salary got to play for CMC. Don't care. It's about the only thing on the field we had that was worth a damn today on offense. Keep something worth a damn worth watching. I mean, I am sick and tired of losing, but I'm tired of anything worth a damn we got everybody thinks we should get rid of. And I'd be damned if I'm trading anything to San Francisco. What are we going to trade in conference for and have them punish us? It's stupid. It's got to get better. This guy's just pitiful.
There's a Rams fan in the chat. He said that they were pretty good today. And I got to disagree, is that maybe, look, Matthew Stafford had 1 pick six. He was 26 for 33, so he wasn't the worst in passing percentage. Only 253 yards. Cooper Kupp had his worst game of the season. Thankfully, he had a normal Stars game at 7 catches with only 80 yards, right? And no touchdowns. Usually a double. Allen Robinson got in the mix a little bit. But the story for them today was all the screen passes, and the rushing attack for them. The running backs, they killed us, and they don't even run the ball very well. But they even said it in the broadcast. They're just going to screen pass them to death today. And every time the Panthers got in a situation where it was 3rd and 8, what was the one time it was 3rd and 10, and they just ran the ball for a first down?
Yeah,
could not.
It was 3rd and 18, dude.
Yeah, there was something ridiculous.
Not only could we not stop the run, but also, and CK had mentioned this too when we were in, everything across the middle of the field was wide open. Like anything across the middle, it was just easy for them. Again, it really disappoints me that we're not using these opportunities to get Brandon Smith out there on the field. To me, it's another example of the Carolina Panthers mismanaging their young talent. And if the season's already lost, then why are you not using this time to get your future players valuable reps that they're going to need in the future? Again, it's mismanagement, man. I don't want to come down so hard on Steve Wilkes this early, but man, we need to get our young guys out on the football field, especially if it's going to look like this, because we're not playing for nothing anymore. We're playing for the number 1 overall pick. The fans know it. The organization knows it. Play our young players.
Next call.
Hey, See-Through family. Panther fan 2222, a.k.a. Panther Willie from Greensboro, North Carolina, calling in.
What's
Man,
up,
this team
Willie?
sucks. I'm just happy we're on the right course to get that number 1 overall pick. It didn't matter if we fired Matt Rule and made Steve Wilkes interim coach. He's set up to fail. They need to go ahead and get rid of McAdoo, though, because this play column's horrible. I count maybe like 3 or 4 plays tonight that the ball went past the line of scrimmage. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. This is supposed to be an NFL team. So what if PJ throws some picks? At least give us a shot to move the ball down the field and get the defenders off of us. Like, this is ridiculous. Everybody like and subscribe. Keep the podcast going. We appreciate y'all. Keep pounding. Have a good night.
My favorite call of the night so far. The number is 252-228-5098.
Let me just answer Dr. Rosen real quick. If you're on iPhone and the join button doesn't show up, open up in a Google Chrome tab, go to our YouTube page, but do it. Take off the mobile. So when you look at your URL bar, there's m dot whatever the URL is. Erase the M so that it brings you up the actual HTML, the normal version of the website, and the join button should be there.
It's a problem usually on Apple phones. We haven't heard of the same problem on Android as much, and the failsafe is on in the browser on the desktop or your whatever else on your laptop. Let's go to the next goal.
Well, adventures into the NFL as a poverty franchise continue. The embarrassment knows no bounds. We're now rolling out a practice squad QB, and we're 1-5. And I don't even know where to begin. You know, like CMC looked awesome, and you're talking about dealing that guy to try to like reboot this franchise. This is on David Tepper. It's on Matt Rule, honestly. I know he's not here anymore, but the decisions he made dating back to Cam, we still don't have a QB. How do you not have a quarterback after this long? How have you started guy after guy after guy? How did you pay Teddy Bridgewater for 2 years when he wasn't here anymore? How did you trade 3 draft picks for Sam Darnold? How did you then trade for Baker Mayfield? It's just ridiculous. We're a poverty franchise. We're an embarrassment. This is literally the Pittsburgh Pirates of the NFL. That's what we've turned into. We're a joke. And, you know, the Rams are the Rams. They're the Super Bowl champions. So it's not that, there weren't the Browns. That was an embarrassing loss. They weren't the Cardinals. That was an embarrassing loss. I mean, they are the champs. So, you know, and you're on the road. So, there's that to be said. But still, you're 1-5. And Steve Wilkes, as much as I love the dude, and I really think he deserves to be a head coach in this league, he's not going to get a serious look. And who could win with PJ Walker, a 4th-string quarterback, and then Jacob Eason off the damn practice squad? Like, who could win? Who could win under this circumstances?
Yeah.
It's just tough. I mean, honestly, how many games are we going to win? That's the over-under right now. Or if the over-under was 4 wins, I would love to hear from the panel and from the chat. Over-under, 4 wins. Are you over or are you under? All I can say is keep pounding, guys. Keep pounding. And, you know, there's always next year. All right. C3, love y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
So-
Over under 3. I think you know my answer. Go ahead, CK.
I was gonna say 3 more or 3 in all together.
What's your would you take the over or the under on 3 more wins this season?
Under, and I'll tell you why. We said that there were only 5 winnable games this year from the remainder of this season. That's just winnable. That means we believe the others are not winnable at all, like not even a shot. The other ones are just potential wins, which means we're probably going to fall on the other side of a few of those. So I'm unfortunately of the mind of, I would say if you're wanting to talk about over under, you would have to say 3.5, right? And so that would, because you can't, I think we probably get 3 more wins.
Can we put up a poll on that, maybe? The over under.
Give me a second.
So it's 3 more. So really, it's 2.5, right? If you think, or you want to, wait, are you saying over 3 or total?
Wait, is
So
this
you
like the over or under on 3 more?
so 4,
wins?
or do we only get 1 more for the entire season?
I say we get 3 more.
The number's 252-228-5098. C3 Panthers podcast has got you all season long. Dude, you haven't seen this probably ever. The professor's switching to coffee. He put on a pot of Java to make sure that we keep it together this season. We're in it for the long haul, regardless if it's no more wins, 3 more wins. C3 Panthers podcast is here with you guys. Put your feet up on the therapy couch. Let's get into it. Let's go to the next call.
What it do, boys? It's your boy Mike.
AKA Supremely Toss.
Okay. That's all the good energy I got. I figured I'd come on happy, strong, you know. Damn. Well, I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like I want my team to win, you know.
This is how my therapy goes.
Number one
when
pick,
I sat
number
with a
two
therapist.
pick,
I was like, oh.
blah, 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 fuck that shit. Like, I want my team to win. And just like always, it was looking good for a while, and then motherfuckers don't want to go for it at the end of the first half. Like, that shit really pissed me off. Like, I could see if it was under 30 seconds, some shit like that, you know, you got 1 timeout left. I get that shit. But this man had all 3 timeouts. I don't care if it was fucking Johnny Manziel back there. You got to try something, bro. You playing for a head coaching job. It's like Tepper was up. I swear it's like Tepper was up in the booth like, don't you call that motherfucking timeout. We getting this number 1 pick. Don't you call the timeout.
Yeah.
All right? You kneel that bitch out, and we going to take it to the second half. Fucking Robbie, man. Robbie's so mad that his stepdad left to the store for cigarettes and beer and never came back. Ain't that a bitch?
Sorry, Kev.
Old Matt Rule daddy left, and now he want to act a fool. Like, you a professional football player, man. Get your shit together. Like I'm a professional driver. All right, I drive CDL driver. I'm not out there on the road getting out the truck when somebody cuts me off or pisses me off and, you know, doing all that crazy shit, bro. Like, I see why people don't like him. It's, god damn. Keep pounding, boys. That's all we can do. Just keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
There's some people in this world who really, whose dads probably should have left. Probably would have been better off.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I put up a poll in the chat. How many more games did the Panthers win this season? 4, 3, 2, or none. And right now, two games is winning at 40% with 35 votes. So feel free to participate in that. Yeah, I think that we're at that point of the season. And luckily, this panel my brother's here on the show with me. We're used to dealing with the upset, depressed Panther fans, but we just didn't want it to have to be this early. We thought, we always buy in that the Panthers are going to be able to do something special, and it's our inner fan wanting to believe it, but then reality sets in that that is just not to be. So we're going to be with a lot more dejection, boys, but hey, at least we got the draft to look forward to, huh?
Well, speaking of the draft, I have an interesting question for you guys. Like, imagine that we do end up with the number 1 pick, okay? And we end up with the number 1 pick with the same team that we have right now. Would y'all be interested in drafting CJ Stroud number 1 and then trading CMC to a team that's going to be in the top 5, like the Commanders, Texans, Bears, Steelers, something like that, for like a Will Anderson or a Jalen Carter, or even, dare I say, a Paris Johnson? Because think about if you drafted CJ Stroud with his starting offensive tackle. Like, wouldn't that be?
Well, we got our offensive tackle, really. More so the question is you're never going to be able to get that high a pick for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I think you're going to be lucky.
Commanders might take him for. The Commanders might be interested in taking.
They need a quarterback.
Yeah, they're probably going to go quarterback at this point in time. I think they've been spinning their wheels too much on these reusable quarterbacks like we have. I think they're ready to move into another world of having a guy who's able to carry them further into the future than what we've seen from there.
Are any of you upset if we start winning?
I thought that was this week was going to tell us if we should want wins or not. Like if we won this week, then you get to say, "Oh man, look, the Bucks lost today.
There's still a chance. Yeah.
The Saints lost today. Teams rally around Wilkes. Bring back Baker or bring in Sam Darnold. Maybe you could reel off 4 or 5 back in. I don't know. Of course, like I think now is like each week I feel like we ask that question and we kind of the next week go, well, maybe we should win this. We can win this one. And then we all are like, yay, we're not winning. I don't think winning will be good right now.
No.
And right now I'm more interested in this is should we keep Fitter or not? Like that's to me is like that. What I'm just most interested in is as the Carolina Panthers. There's no need to swindle away or fumble away a top draft pick to win like we did with Washington that year where we fell back. I mean, we don't even have the coach or nothing. Like having a prime pick is the best possible thing that you could do for a new coach and a new GM or a new regime. So should we keep Scott Fitter, I guess, is the real question.
My quick answer is there's only one person that I would be willing to do it for, and he's already in the building. If you fire Scott Fitterer, you make Dan Morgan the manager for the Carolina Panthers. If it's not he's been in front offices now for like a decade, Greg. And I mean, he's been doing this, and he even interviewed with some other teams this offseason to be a general manager. And I would like to try and avoid another situation where we have a Brandon Bean in our office, part of what we're doing, and then he gets plucked to go somewhere else. And then as soon as he does, damn near the next year after, we're firing our general manager. Like for once, could we just be ahead of the curve?
All right, let's go to
you guys tell me. Oh, how about this? Okay, before we go forward, why don't you welcome our brand new superfan?
Well. We have another member of the C3 Superfan Club. Welcome, Dr. Rosen. Hopefully not of the Joshua kind. Welcome into the C3 Panthers Superfan Club. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, Dr. Rosen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
welcome to
I guess
the
that
C3
sounded funnier when I thought of it. Next call.
Yeah.
Hey. You know who the fuck it is. Booyaka! G, baby, and I got a lot to say. But I tell you guys about my nigga Dante Jackson, man. the dude comes to play. The only motherfucker in the secondary, or let alone on the defense, on the back end, that will fucking tackle fucking Darnell Henderson by his goddamn self. Love to see that. Pick 6. The same reason why I said him and DJ are off the list to be traded, but at this point, I don't know who's going to be traded. I already told you it was a mistake to give Robbie Anderson the bag. The motherfucking nigga acting a goddamn fucking fool, acting like he ain't got no fucking sense. But Robbie hurt us today. He helped himself because now he's without a doubt, being traded. But at the same time, now everyone knows he wants to be traded, so the value's not going to be as high as what it was before the game started. I don't know why they even played the bitch, nigga. He acted like he had an illness the entire week, and all of a sudden he's playing. He would have been better off not even playing that bitch-ass nigga. God damn. But at the end of the day, it's good to see C-Mac still got it. I feel like the only reason why they're giving him all these touches is to show everyone Christian McCaffrey is still Christian McCaffrey, as you can see, motherfuckers. So I'm still asking for a first-round draft pick for the niggas.
Baby.
Listen, at the end of the day, we was never going to win this game. We never had a chance to win this game. And it's time to call Cameron Terrell Newton back. Offer a multi-million-dollar fucking deal. Multi means 3 years. Nothing expensive. Have him be the bridge QB, mentor to whoever's going to come in this off-season, G. Let him learn just let him get acclimated, bruh. A lot better than what the fuck I see that's going on in the field. PJ sucks. All you PJ Walker Wonder fans, fuck y'all niggas. I don't want to hear shit about Jacob Eason. All these QBs suck. Call Cam. QB1. The only QB1 that's ever been part of Carolina, bruh. I'm sick of the shit talking on Cam Newton, bruh. Are you fucking kidding me? Cam behind this offensive line and these weapons? Bro, get the fuck out of here, bruh. Just bring Cam in, put some ass in seats. Give us something reasonable to watch the rest of the season, because we got dark days ahead of us, and we better accumulate draft picks. And I'm glad we lost this game, because we ain't beating the Bucks next week. We gonna get that #1 pick, and we better not fuck it up. I have a lot to fucking say, man. It's good to see Keith Taylor getting on the fucking field. You dig? Goddamn, Shy Smith. Cody likes fuck Shy Smith. Every single time he drops a pass, my bad, my fault, fuck you, bitch, motherfucker. This team sucks, bruh.
Bro. All right, so what's funny about this is like G Baby always bringing the passion. G Baby has gone from someone that like it took a lot of heat in the chat room to like now having a cadre of total supporters that love G Baby. So like now G Baby has got his own little cult following. And then there's people that come in and have never heard G Baby before, never seen JB before, and they go crazy. But like, guess what? That's G Baby,
bro. Yo, we love G Baby. G Baby is the man, dude. We love passion, and this man loves his Carolina Panthers, dude. And you know what? We can't talk down to that man. He has every right to be that fucking pissed off at how bad the Panthers are. Year after year after, man.
Do you know how many people have called him an idiot and then have come back and apologized to him for like the things he's like about
being right, man. G Baby's the motherfucking man. Shout out to G, and shout out to Nirvash, who is also the man. He said Cam doesn't deserve this disaster. Let him be.
Let him be. 252.
Let him be. Let him be. Let him be.
The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go to the next call.
What's up, C3 family? It's your boy J Stubbs.
What's up, my man?
If the goal is to get McCaffrey stock up and trade him and to get the #1 pick next year, I think it was executed brilliantly today.
It was.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we are about to be the laughing stock of the NFL.
There they are.
All in all, I mean, the young players are still playing okay, but, you know, there's no point of winning. You know, there's some excellent quarterbacks coming out next year. No one wants to hear that, but remember, one time, the last time we got the number 1 pick, we got Cam Newton. I'm not saying the next guy's going to be Cam Newton. I'm just saying. Embrace it. Watch the young guys develop. There's plenty, although we suck, there's plenty of young talent on this team that we still can develop.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, keep pounding. CJ Stroud season on the way.
Oh, wrong one. No, great call, Jay Stubbs. I just think of 89 Jay Stubbs with them sunglasses on. I saw him he got a picture of himself in the stands at the football game and came on to the day that we were doing the live show with Matt Rule's firing, looking cool. And 89 Jay Stubbs is right here. If the goal was to boost Christian McCaffrey's stock and keep after that first round pick while preventing me from turning the channel, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Let's go to the next call. Here we go.
Hey, hey, hey. You know who the fuck it ain't. Boyka, boyka, boyka.
Your favorite kind of call, Tony.
But I do have a lot to say. First thing is, Robbie sucks. Serious shit. Get him out of here ASAP. But he already got himself out of here because he sucks. He's pissed that he didn't get a target at all, which, I mean, who would have figured Robbie, the petulant kid, getting pissed he didn't get a target? Anyway, enough about his dumb ass because he's irrelevant. I thought today we improved. Like, you could tell Matt Rule's not the coach anymore because even though we sucked, even though we looked bad, we didn't look dumb. And that was the main problem I had with Matt Rule. It's not so much that we're bad because we don't have a quarterback that, you can only do so much about that as a coach. But the whole looking dumb thing, I think that on that category, we improved. We didn't look stupid under Steve Wilkes. And at least, we really bought into the fact that Christian McCaffrey is good at football. No, he's great at football. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But we were able to do that. P.J. Walker is not the answer. I mean, I know I'm blind, but I don't see the Walker wonder anywhere. Does it exist? I don't know. But the story continues. We keep getting injuries like crazy, And if Sam Darnold returns next week, I'd like to see what he can do with actual coaches. Because, I respect the hell out of Steve Wilkes. I'd like to see what Steve Wilkes would be able to do for Sam Darnold. I don't know we're not going to see, by next week, but I think we should run with him because I really want to see what we have in him. And when Baker gets out of the boot, I really want to see what we have in Baker with better coaching. But that's my thoughts. What do you guys think? Anyway, guys, the moment you've been waiting for.
That's there, yeah.
I love it when he holds it.
The build-up.
Holds what?
The climatic. What is it?
The tension is, you can cut it with a knife. Truly.
I was going to ask you this, as I couldn't find it. I was looking in the game book. Usually they have the stats for individuals up by now. Here we go. Did Brian Burns even register a tackle today?
Yes, I do know he got a tackle.
Okay,
and he forced that interception.
Yeah, he deflected the ball that Dante Jackson took for the pick six.
All right, let's go to the next call.
Hey, what's up, C3 fam? Just called this.
Call D.
What's going on, fellas? Well, it looks like we're tanking.
Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. Looks like we're not gonna win, but maybe one more game for the season. I think a top 3 pick is in the works. Oh, what's up, Cody? CK.
What up, Carl?
I was looking at the Simcast you had last night. Sorry, my voice is about gone. That's why I sound funny. It was a person in the comment section talking about some. They swapping down that Steve Wilkes had told Bob McAdoo to open up the offense, and they said PJ was going to show out today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm still waiting.
Waiting on?
Oops, I'm sorry. That's right. The offense wasn't opened up. And of course, PJ didn't show out. I told him, you better not bet no money on this, or he's going to be broke. But anyway, hey, Cody, I heard you yesterday talking about Cody, me and you, we really need to have a talk about this Matt Corral. You seeing your talent evaluation of him was a little bit different than me. All the thing I saw was an average quarterback at best, who was injury prone in college. You said you think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he's going to. My prediction, he's going to be a good backup. I tell you what. Well, never mind. I'll save it to Tuesday. I have some more information I'd like to share with the whole C3 Cat podcast. But I'll wait till Tuesday. But guys, hopefully we get our quarterback of the future in this draft. And well,
All right. Appreciate it, Carl. We are waiting to see waiting to witness the Walker wonder still. Let's go on and keep pushing through with these calls. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Give Matt Corral a chance, Carl.
What's up, C3? Love y'all guys. Hey, I was sitting here thinking while I was watching, and I was looking at how pretty much if the ball didn't go to Christian's hand, pretty much every play went to Christian's hand while PJ was on the field. And once PJ got murdered out there, and they put Jacob Eason in, you notice they started letting him throw at least like a 5-yard hitch to DJ Moore, try to fit another pass, then even like the play that got batted and intercepted and so forth, like they actually was okay with advancing the ball further than 5 yards. And Eason, who has not taken like a live snap in practice really, at least from what they were talking in the press conferences like the last week or so. My question is this: if PJ was that inept of even moving the ball downfield, especially against an aggressive secondary and defense, why didn't they really try to take more of a better look at Eason during the week to see if that was more of an adequate fit just for this game? Because we all know, and the Rams knew, that Christian was going to be the key to the offense. At least maybe if we could have got a couple of slants off, anything of that nature, it might could have helped. But, PJ had no control of the offense, really, besides handing the ball off. He wasn't even really selling the handoffs very well either. But, it's just I noticed how the play call slightly changed up for that slight moment that Eason was in the game. Hey, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep pounding.
Good call, man.
Yeah. So I'd like to say this. I was impressed by Jacob Eason. It was a very, very short sample size, but we were moving the ball. And then even that last play, we're trying to score before the end of the football game. He threw a bad pass into bad coverage, but again, he's trying to force a play. I would like to see more of a shot. I think he probably has the biggest arm on our football team. He threw at the combine. He was clocked at throwing a football 72 miles per hour, which is fucking bananas. So, the guy has arm talent. He made some good downfield passes at Washington and when he played at Georgia. I would say let's give him a chance. Although if I'm a betting man, especially with Baker Mayfield still being in the boot, I wager that Sam Darnold is going to be the next man under center.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to the next call.
My thoughts on Robbie Anderson or fuck Robbie Anderson. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Short and to the point. Beautiful.
All right, next call.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, I think at this point, the season's just done, and we're in a tough situation because, like, we don't even know who our coach is going to be next year. We don't know what staff he's going to have. So how do you prepare for that? Like, we can't put together a roster or anything because we don't know who's going to be there. I just think this season's just completely lost for the Panthers, and it is what it is. We just kind of got to watch this one burn, I think. Appreciate you guys, and keep pounding, I guess.
God, I gotta change the. One day I'm gonna get good at this. I was thinking this as over the last couple of calls is next year's team is going to be so different. Right, like, there won't be one Baylor player, one Temple player. They'll all be gone.
And I think what we're going to see too is we're going to have a pretty good idea who's going to be the starters on this team pretty early on in camp. And we're not going to have any of this bullshit competition that Matt Rule tries to throw out there. Like there's an actual competition between Christian McCaffrey and Chuba Hubbard, right? It's just not logical to think that. I think that we're going to have maybe a little bit more common sense for these guys.
All right, we're down to the short hairs of the calls. Let's keep going.
Hey, guys. This is Panther Pickle. I just want to express folks to stop calling for Cam Newton, okay? If the folks screaming for Cam Newton to come back here, educate yourself a little bit. Cam Newton's not the quarterback he was back in 2013 or 14 or 15, okay? And if you really care about Cam Newton, why are you going to put this evil on him? Why are you going to want him to come back and get bejesus? And the offensive line, I think the offensive line is better than what we had last year. Are they perfect? No, but they're kind of learning as you go. They're developing together, and we won't see the full fruits of this till probably maybe a year or two down the road. Then we'll see the full force of it. Right now, they're green and still learning. So, and they'll get changes. Bozeman's a backup right now. He's leaving. Corbett only signed a 3-year deal, and Elfline's only here for this year and one more. So, and you never know how things are going to go with Terremote and contracts and all that. So, you just don't know. But we just got to keep pounding, keep going. It'll get better someday soon. It'll get better someday. So, by the way, one more thing before I go. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Okay, Tennessee with a big win over Alabama. We only got 2 calls left, but I'm going to give Cody his Ashley is out because he's so hooked on Hot D. He's just mouth is salivating.
And my dinner's here, y'all. I'm gonna enjoy some House of
That's
the
your
Dragon,
Hot D.
episode 9. Oh. Yeah, man. And I love Hot D, man. My Hot D. So look, y'all, it's tough, but look, we're gonna be here for you. C3 Panthers podcast is literally here year round. We don't have an off season. We are always here for the fans. So look, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live, that's all we ask for. That's not that much. And then you'll be seeing us this Tuesday night for another edition of the C3 Panthers podcast. Boys, y'all have a great night.
All right, man. You have a good one. We're on the back end of the show. We got a couple calls to go. We still got our dab on them pick as well as our towel of shame to give out. You can be a part of the show by participating in the chat like you guys have done all night, participate in those polls, and you can join the C3 Superfan Club like so many people have done. Someone check to see how many likes we got to as I go to the next call. See if we hit the marker.
Hey, I want to say thanks for taking my call. I appreciate you guys.
You're welcome, man.
Things
Thank
are
you for
kind of
calling
bleak
in.
right now for the Panthers, but if you think about it, potentially we could have a bright future in front of us. If you think about it, we could have the number one pick. We can get a good quarterback, maybe CJ or someone like that. We need a head coach. Can you imagine if we can bring in someone like a Sean Payton or someone of his caliber to start the season next year with a new rookie quarterback or something? I mean, with a defense that's already halfway decent, and I mean, we got some pieces, man. I think if we get the right kind of guys in next year, staff and quarterback, dude, we might be okay. We might be okay. So, Panther fans, Panther Nation, let's just keep pounding, dude. Just keep pounding. We got this. We'll make it through this, and we'll make it. We got this.
Well, I think the good news is
everybody.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better because the clown show that was the Matt Rule coaching tenure era has been revealed. We'll be talking about this on Tuesday night on the longest running Panthers podcast. Our flagship show is live 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. We'll be featuring the I guess it'd be the Matt Rule manifesto that was partially published in a Jonathan Jones article today. We'll talk about how they can get better in both the front office and at the head coaching position. But is that there's going to there's some talent on this team, and if you get the right guy, like you say, in at coach and quarterback, it's going to go up, or things will improve. The problem and the difficulty in life or in as watching sports is getting the right guy. How many teams have swung and missed? So we swung and missed with Matt Rule already, and the 3 years have been squandered. So now what we got to do is hopefully not squander all of those years and try to preserve the gains that were made in the background, or at least personnel wise, and then identify the coach that can take that and find a way to turn it into something better. Let's keep going with the calls. I think these are down to the last two. Wait, this might be the same one.
Hey, I want to say thanks for taking my.
This is last call. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Shalika, and I watched this game today, right? And so everybody is in an uproar, right? But I mean, I don't understand what the real problem is. Everybody knew that Steve Wilkes inherited a mess, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knew that, the quarterback position has been just a conundrum of a mess since forever, right? And so everybody knew that with Baker having an injury and PJ going there, that the issue was going to be how were they going to handle PJ. Let's just be honest. We knew that PJ, he'll throw the ball, but he's going to throw some interceptions too, right? So the way that they were managing that was to basically, we were going to run the ball. Now, I thought that they were going to basically try to see if they could basically keep it all in front of them, and then maybe take the training wheels off probably about midway of the third quarter or something like that or whatever. And for the most part, I think they were doing pretty good. And then I think that whole Robbie Anderson and D-Jack getting hurt, then we went right down here really fast. But honestly, let's be honest. If they would have came out throwing the ball like people wanted them to throw the ball and Robbie wanted them to throw the ball, it would have been a blowout early because we already know that when PJ throws the ball a lot, he is bound to throw interceptions. We would have had probably multiple pick sixes, and that's just the reality of the situation. Steve Wilkes was in a catch-22. People knew that from the beginning. I still did believe that it could have been a winnable game if they could have managed, the clock by running the football and maybe got a couple of possessions in there, and they would have been able to basically contain, the run game and get off the field on third downs. And if we were able to basically do it defensively, but with our secondary being pretty much with DJ going out and then everybody in secondary injured at this point, then of course that kind of went downhill. And then I just think that the whole Robbie Anderson thing just became a distraction. at that point in the middle of a game. And I'm like, Robbie, why would you do that in the freaking middle of a game? Like, we're in the middle of a game. Like, you couldn't figure out, even if you got a legitimate beef, why would you do that in the middle of a game? That's just like me going to my boss in the middle of a conference with his boss and fussing. Of course, I'm going to get my butt handed to me. You don't do that. This is still your job. You still have a professional responsibility. So why would you do that? That makes no sense. So to me, I'm like, you get everything that you're asking for because that's just not smart. So at the end of the day, I just don't know what they're asking for. And I just feel like what people are trying to put Wilkes under this room right now, I feel like for what they had, I feel like they couldn't do more than what they had. I mean, honestly, for with PJ being on the field, the most they could hope was to rely on their defense, which is what they did today, and try to run the football, which was the best they could hope for because we knew that PJ was not going to be able to get out there and sling it. Let's just be honest about it. I mean, we're struggling with Baker.
That is the call of the night. It's the consensus call of the night from the chat room. It was the way I felt. And you know what? It's just the call is the call of the night because she's just right. At the end of the day, is again, that's why I was just happy. I said, look, this game was entertaining to me. Christian McCaffrey played well. The defense made a play, held this offense that was superior to them to relatively, made it tough for them at some points. But what did you expect, right? Number one. Number two is that, like, if you do start opening up with PJ, it might not be 24-10. It might be 44-10, or at that point. I think this is again, she's right. Wilkes did the best he could, I would think, with what he had. But this is going to be the problem, and this is the problem when you take over as an interim, is we're just going to say, he didn't have it, this and that. And poor Wilkes, he's not going to really, it's going to be a long shot for him to turn this into something that makes him as a appealing candidate for the Carolina Panthers and somewhere else. And that's not even his fault. It's just the reality of the matter.
Well, that, and I think with what we got to look at for this team as well, right? We're going up against a team that their record probably doesn't match their talent, right? The Rams are a much better team.
They've been a disappointment.
Right. So, I mean, they've played, they have a couple of weaknesses that have been able to be exploited because they played offenses that can push the ball down the field a little bit, right? We've had a lot of Achilles heels today, right? On defense, we have our best secondary out of the equation with Jeremy Chin and with J.C. Horn out, right? You have Frankie Louvu, who has been, by and large, almost our defensive MVP of the season. We've had C.J. Henderson go out early or later in this game. And then, you're dealing with
Dante got hurt.
Right. You're dealing with our fourth string quarterback with P.J. Walker. And I say fourth string because of, you have Baker.
He shouldn't even be on the team.
And Corral. PJ was never meant to be here. I think he was meant to be a camp casualty, if you will. And and unfortunately, there were a couple of injuries in preseason that kept him on the roster.
We are a bad team without our best players today.
we're exactly, and it was clear. I mean, honestly, 24-10 is impressive with the fact that we had the people that we had.
I agree, man. If we could have football like this for the rest of the season and get the number one pick, I just don't want it to be 44-3 or 28-0. I thought today, now we're going to be continuing to go. What is Christian McCaffrey's value? Where do you put him? Who won the Buffalo-Kansas City game?
Buffalo
did. Oh, man. So that was a game that came down to it. How exciting was that? What a great call to finish off the calls of the C3 Panthers post-game show. Remember, we'll be here Tuesday night, 9 p.m. You can call in between now and then. We'll have your call on Tuesday. We've been bringing you a lot of different kinds of content throughout the week, from Madden simulations, which have been a big hit too, the Friday free-for-all, the beat check, where we try to land not only interviews with different beat writers, but this past week we were able to catch up with Jonathan Stewart. I'm begging and asking some people, interception by the Eagles. I'm going to get us some more guests as we continue to go forward and diversify our content. We got 2 final segments to get to of the post-game show, unless somebody comes up with something better to talk about. So let's talk with the easiest one, and that is the dab on them pick where we pick the player of the game.
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. And that dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
Sometimes it's difficult to pick the player of the game. Sometimes it's not. Usually in a game where there isn't much happening, the player of the game is the hardest to pick. But I think there are some eligible people here who, CK, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I think I want to give the dab on him pick to Christian McCaffrey. I really don't know who else on this team deserves it, to be honest with you.
I got two other people, but yeah, that's the one who had the best game.
I'm trying to. You know what? I'll give it to Derek Brown. I saw Derek Brown.
That was the other one. That was the other one on my list. Derek Brown had a half sack, continued to just wreck shop throughout the up the middle of the gut. I want to also. Did Aaron Donald get much action today? I didn't see his.
Yeah, he got a lot. He was eating up the middle there after they were stopping the run. We couldn't do anything on the ground.
All right, and my dab on him pick goes to Dante Jackson with the pick 6 today. So I know you can point to some plays that he missed, and he was, but at the end of the day, he scored more points than our entire offense did. Dante Jackson, Derek Brown, and Christian McCaffrey, dab on them. Now we're going to go to the towel of shame where we call out the losers of the pack. This one also, I think, as the callers have been all over this one, it's not going to be hard to figure out the losers of the pack here. Let's go to the towel of shame. Losers. Who deserves the wet towel of shame today, Greg?
Low hanging fruit, Robbie Anderson. Very, very simple. He's called him a couple times. I've called this out a few times. For me, it seems like every game this year I've given it to either Robbie Anderson or CJ Henderson. So they just continue to prove me right.
CK, what you got for us?
Listen, I was passionate about it at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to remain passionate about it at the end of the show. The towel of shame goes to the daggone refs. Today they were horrendous calls. Horrendous. They did call them. Dante Jackson did not deserve that pass interference that offset a interception that we were able to get on the in our own territory, and multiple missed calls on of roughing the passer and unnecessary on Christian McCaffrey. Quite honestly, just abysmal, and simple as that fair catch. That was a fair catch. And they tried to, and then they threw a flag.
Of games.
And then the one where he did call the fair catch, he touched him in the back, and they called it a penalty because he touched him in the back. After we just got screwed literally the punt before, and we didn't touch him because he threw the fair catch.
And his signal was even smaller than the first time.
Right, and so it was absolute garbage the entire day. The refs deserve to have their basically they should have their entire pay for this game docked because of how horrible they were. It was not even anywhere close to being a good game, and I could probably tell you there's probably at least 10 calls that they either missed or called incorrectly, which is a big number when you're talking about professional fucking sports.
Get him, CK. CK gets amped. When he gets amped, you know it. My towel of shame goes to two rookie wide receivers, both Shi Smith and Terrace Marshall Jr., and all those people out in the chat and on the calls and on Twitter that told me these two rookies were going to be in Canton by the end of this season. They were telling me how great, how Shi Smith's so awesome, how he's better than Damiere Byrd, my ass. Right? These guys, they ain't done squat, but drop passes to them. I give you the towel of shame. Guys, we've had a good post-game show in some ways, is that I feel like we're learning more and more about our team each week. Cody says in week 6, we know who we are. And we know that the Carolina Panthers are not good, and they're not good because the quarterback, we don't even have a quarterback. We have 0 quarterbacks. We got so many quarterbacks, we don't even know which quarterback we don't have and which one we're missing. But the Carolina Panthers have struggled so much that they fired their coach, and now potentially are looking like they are going to be selling in a moment or an effort to, kind of get some assets going forward. We'll have all of that news on the C3 Panthers podcast on Tuesday nights, live Tuesday nights, where we bring you the latest news and opinions. I want to encourage everyone to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. I want to thank all the people who donated tonight to the show financially. Man, the generosity was real tonight. The love was real, but we also want to thank everybody just for giving us their time. And folks, we're going to lock arms. We're going to get through this, and we're actually going to have a lot of fun doing it. We're going to we're diversifying our content. We're going to have, look, we had Not Matt Rule, and I already saw a video. Not Matt Rule went on a nature hike. So guys, who knows where C3 is going this semester, but there's only one direction with the greatest fans around, and that is up, like the Carolina Panthers. CK, how can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Codizzle Allen, and let's just chat, hang out, and maybe play some games. I've had a couple people reach out to me via DMs to play some Warzone. The new Modern Warfare is coming out here soon, so I'm always down to play. Maybe we can get a C3 game night going or something along those lines. So come check me out, and we'll be obviously doing the Madden Sims, but mainly we're going to see you guys Tuesday to talk about our upcoming opponent and maybe a reflection on this game.
Fantastic. Greg, how can they follow you?
Check me out at the BatDaddy52 on Twitter is my personal handle, or you can check me out on my other show. It's Geeks Chasing Squirrels Across the Multiverse. We go live Fridays 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, and you can catch it on any podcatcher of your choice. Covering a lot of fun stuff right now.
Yeah, they cover a lot of different television shows, like Cody's right now watching House of the Dragon. Some people are disappointed with the Rings of Power, which CK and I differ on that. And I want to say, guys, I watched my girls and I, you're probably like, what kind of parent watches this? My girls like scary serial killer type stalker movies. And so we started watching that show, The Watcher, on Netflix. It's pretty good. It's creepy. Yeah, it's pretty good. I would say okay. I've enjoyed it immensely so far. So we'll be back on Tuesday night. Check out Greg's work. Go play video games with CK, and tell Cody Lashney that House of the Dragon is not the greatest show in the history of the world. It doesn't have to be the greatest. Just be okay, which it is. Right. Until Tuesday night, keep pounding.
Keep pounding, y'all.